All right, so welcome to Algebra 2. Today is May 5th. Let's see, anything new on here? Nope, just make sure you have a paper and pencil for notes. Make sure to ask questions, make sure to attend office hours. If you have any questions, you guys are really good about doing that. Are stressed, make sure to type in the chat box from a 0 to a 10, how are you feeling? I'll go ahead and put my response in there as well.
Miss V, so is y'all going to share the chat like y'all did last time? You, Miss V, Miss Varney, all y'all, all the time?
For hours, yes. Unless it becomes like an issue, like if, you know, a lot of people are coming for help in math, and then let's say like someone comes in for English, then we might do a breakout room where we separate and then we like go into our own little Zoom room.
Okay.
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I know it gets a little, it's a lot of people.
Crazy?
Yeah, it's a little crazy. Okay, so it seems like, oh, I see a 10. Okay, a 10, you can manage your emotions and behaviors. I wouldn't say you're a 10 if you're tired, but hey, I get what you mean. All right, let's look at our objectives for today. So we're gonna review finding the missing side of a right triangle, which is what we've been doing. But today we're gonna learn about finding missing angles for trigonometric functions. So,
Miss V, please tell me that's not your emoji from your phone.
It is my Bitmoji. I'm glad you recognized it. Please don't go to sleep at 6 a.m. Try to sleep way earlier, like 8 hours earlier by like 10-ish. Because you've been waking up early for class. We need to make sure you're up and awake. Let's review our do now. So our do now, I brought back something that we did in class, which was parabolas. Or when it comes to equations, they're called quadratic equations. Or quadratic functions. So select all the zeros or roots of the parabola. As a reminder, what was it?
Can I tell you the answer?
Yeah, go ahead.
-1 and 3.
Good. Notice I put two different names for it. It's 0 or roots. If I say, what are the roots of this parabola? It would be the same answer as if I asked you, what are the zeros of this parabola? So later on when I do nows, I might just ask you what are the zeros, and you should be able to know without me having to say the word roots. I put both of them here now so you remember, but you should know that roots are the ones that cross the x-intercept. So your x-intercepts are your roots. And notice it does say select all. Sometimes even if it says select all, they might just be one answer, but for this one there are two. All right, so find the value of x. So this is something we've been working on, right? We do SOHCAHTOA. Ooh, my thing is not acting right today. Whoa, for art class, that's gonna be fun. Let's see what the chat says. Okay, I'll tell you right now if it's right or wrong because we're gonna do it together, so I need to figure it out as well. So, because I don't remember exactly what it was based on the, okay. All right, so we have, if I label it, I know that across from my right angle is hypotenuse, across from my angle is opposite, and whatever is left is adjacent. I look right away at what do they give me? They give me an opposite, they say it's x. Even though they don't give me the exact number, they still tell me a value. Or they give me something, right? They give me a very hypotenuse.
So would it be?
It would be which one?
S-O-H?
Yep, sine. Good. So sine. Good. So we use that one. Perfect. So we're going to go sine of 53 degrees is equal to, and then opposite over adjacent. Opposite is x, not adjacent, hypotenuse. 15. So right away, I go ahead and I like to plug into the calculator. I like to go ahead and, good morning, Chris. Sine of 53, so I'm gonna type in 53, sine, and that gives me about.
I got 0.395.
On the I got this. It's different from what you got?
I got, yeah.
Because, okay, so
Hold up, I think,
53.
oh, hold up. Yeah, never mind.
Okay, now you got it? So
Yeah.
I'm gonna okay, perfect. To get x by itself, I'm going to multiply each side by 50. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other side.
Hey, Miss V.
Yes.
You know what I did? I with that 5 by the 8, I just moved up a letter. Was that okay?
Which one?
Like when the calculator gave you an answer, it was like 5 right there. The 8 was left, and I moved it up once.
Yeah, I think that's right. If I understand what you mean, yes, that's right. Because either way, let's see, what answer did you get? You got, I'm not supposed to move the, you got 11. Okay, yeah, that's about right. I know that mine gave me a little bit different, 11.97, because I rounded a little bit earlier. But when you do your do now, it should accept this or it should accept your answer too. And then I think I put one more answer step. So anything around those numbers, it should be accepting as part of it.
Yeah, I put 11.99.
Okay, and if it didn't count it as right, when I go back, I'll look at it and then it should count it right.
Okay.
All right, let's look at this because we are already running out of time. We only have 15 minutes left and it's a long lesson. So a person standing on level ground is 2,000 feet away from the foot of a 420-foot building, as shown in the accompanying diagram. To the nearest degree, what is the value of x? So last session, we did look at this problem, but we never got a chance to solve it. So hopefully we get a chance to solve it today. Okay. All right, so when do you use trig ratio and when do you use what's called inverse? Because remember last time we kind of, oh no, this was during office hours, I believe. During office hours, we kind of talked about using the second button, where it says second, and then how these new functions come out. Now, instead of just saying sign, it says sign, and then it has that -1. So we need to figure out, well, when do we use what? Like, when do we use the regular one, and when do we use that one? So if we're trying to find the side of an angle, or of a triangle, right? If we're trying to find the side of a triangle, we use what's called trig ratio. We use the original one, the one we've been using so far. But let's say I'm trying to find the angle of a triangle. So let's say x is this right here, where it says x degrees, right? We don't know what the degrees are. That's when we use what's called inverse trig ratio, which is what we're gonna do today. So again, whenever you're finding the length of the side, you use a regular one. Whenever you're trying to find the angle, you use this new one. So in this question, for example, if I were asking you, how far is this? You guys see this from my little Bitmoji to the top of the building. If I was asking you, where is it? If I was asking you this x, right, the red one, then we would use the regular trig ratio. But because I'm not asking you that, I'm just asking you the angle, then I use inverse, okay? And I'll show you what inverse is. So now that being said, let's look at how to find the inverse, okay? So the first step is label each side based on the missing angle. So right away, always when you have a right triangle, just label it. It's the easiest thing to do is to label it so that way you have one part of the problem done. So right away, what's across the right angle? That's hypotenuse. What's across, hold on, give me, what's across my angle, and that's gonna be my opposite, and what's left, it's my adjacent, right? So we have that. We label it. Now we set up trig ratio the way we always do it. We go, well, what information do they give us when it comes to SOHCAHTOA? So same thing, notice we're still following the same steps. So they give us opposite. They give us a hypotenuse. What they don't give us is adjacent. They don't give us adjacent. So we're gonna use sine. So we go sine of, but notice we don't have a number. So we're just gonna put x degrees is equal to, and then they give us an opposite. They say it's 16, and they give us a hypotenuse, that's 22. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna type in sine, or I'm gonna write sine of x degrees is equal to, and then in my calculator, I just go, what's 16 divided by 22? And again, I use the first three numbers, 0.727. So I'm gonna write that here just so it's clear. Sine of x degrees is equal to 0.727. Now that's still not the answer. And the reason that's not the answer is because that doesn't tell me what x is. That tells me what sine of x is, but it doesn't tell me what x is. So what I'm gonna do, and again, and I'm going really fast, but the next one I'll try to take it a little bit slower. We just don't have too much time. But I'm gonna take my calculator and I'm gonna plug in 0.727. 0.727. Okay. Now that I have that, I'm gonna type that button or click on that button that says second. And notice the options change. And because it says sine, I'm gonna look where it says sine, the S-I-N, and be careful because there's one that says sine H. No, we don't want that one. We want this one that says sine -1. We click on that, and that will give me my answer. It'll give me 46.635. This kind of shows you, that's not the, ignore this part because that's for a different problem. But if you have a calculator, you would press second, or if you're using a different type of calculator, I know like on Google, you would actually put inverse. So either inverse or second, depending on what your calculator says. But it'll give you something, you have to look for something that looks like this. It has that little -1. So again, you put the number, you press that, and it gave me 46.635. And that is my angle. I might just round up and I might say it's about 47 degrees. Oops, that went crazy. Again, I know that's a lot, but let's take it a little bit more slowly. We might not have a chance to answer more than this one and maybe the main problem. So if you guys want to unmute yourselves and like chime in and help me out with finishing this up or trying to solve it with me, go ahead. But again, what I do is right away, I'm going to label it. So what's the opposite? This is hypotenuse. This right here is my focus. Good, opposite. And this one's my. Good. So then I do like always, SOHCAHTOA. Do they give me opposite?
No.
No, because you notice it's empty.
No.
They don't give me opposite. Right away, I can already tell what I'm going to use, right? They give me hypotenuse. They give me adjacent. Which one has both? Good.
So be
Cosine of what? What am I going to put here?
so it will be opposite over.
It'll be 10 over 26.
Good. Adjacent, so 10 over 26.
Would it be 26 over 10?
Well, look, it would be because it's A over H, adjacent. Adjacent is 10. Hypotenuse is 26, so it would be 10 over 26. But right here where it says cosine, I'm gonna put x degrees because I don't know the degrees yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and still put the x because we need to figure out what that number is, okay? So then I can go ahead and I'm gonna write cosine x degrees. What's 10 divided by 26? Did you guys get an answer for that one? So I typed it in, 10 divided by 26 gives me about Let me make sure I did that right. 10 divided by 26. What was it?
Well, you got
I got 0.384.
Okay, good. So you type that in. So now that we have that, we can go ahead and in my calculator. So I'm going to write the trig ratio. In other words, we're going to write cosine of x degrees is equal to 0.384. Okay. The way to write it formally, like the way they like to do it, it's kind of weird, interesting, but you do like a -1. So then, or cosine -1, and then you go cosine of -1. And this part you don't have to know exactly, but that leaves me with x is equal to cosine -1, 0.384. That's the correct way to write it. But the point is that you're just going to go ahead and write what we were doing earlier, right? Earlier we did in our calculator 0.384.
I got 1.176.
Okay, let's see. Did you type? Okay, so after you type it, did you put second?
Yeah.
And then you plug in sine -1, right? And that actually gives me this. Do you want to try that one again and see why?
Yeah.
Miss, how do you even do that?
How do you do what?
Okay, wait. So you do the calculator, right? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you type in the 0.384.
0.
You type your number. And then you type second. You click on second, I mean. And once you click on second, you put whatever it is. Oh, mine's cosine. Sorry, I think I put sine. But you're supposed to put cosine because that's what I do, cosine. And it actually gives you this.
67.42. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
is this
Okay.
what you guys got?
Okay, yeah, I got close
Yeah.
to that. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, as long as it's something
Yeah,
similar. I know some of us might have like something a little bit off because,
okay, yeah.
but if we round, that's about 67 degrees or 68
Okay.
degrees. That is your answer. So this is another practice problem. If you guys get a chance to, like always, I put the video afterwards. If you have another problem to practice, we can also always practice this one during office hours. We can practice these during office hours. This is the same thing, but instead of an X, we put the little theta sign. That's called the theta. So we put that sign instead, but it just means X. So now what I really do want to do is I want us to figure out this problem. So using this one, right? We're trying to find that out. So what do they give? Oh, before we even get there, I'm already trying to rush through that part. I'm gonna label it. So again, I know that what's across my right angle, hypotenuse.
It's TOA, miss.
Huh?
It's TOA.
Is it TOA?
Opposite red.
Yeah, I can already tell you're right.
Yeah.
You guys all got TOA?
Yeah.
It's Torah.
Okay, so adjacent. Because they give me, if I do the SOHCAHTOA, but I'm not going to do all of that right now because we're running out of time. They gave
Miss
me
V.
and they gave me adjacent. So I'm going to write tangent of X because we don't know what it is yet.
Hmm?
We write opposite. Opposite is 420.
Okay.
Adjacent is 2000. Ooh, this thing is glitching.
Aren't you going to divide?
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to leave this side the same for now, but I'm going to go into my calculator and I'm going to type in 420 on a, like just regular, right? 420 divided 2000. And that gave me
0.21.
Okay, is that what you got? Good. So this is where I'm trying to get rid of the tan. That I'm trying to get the X by itself. And that's why they have us do this. You go tan -1 to the -1 power. And that cancels it out. That's why they, I know that that part's a little bit.
What did y'all get? Mine must be wrong. Mine's 32.
You hear me, peace?
So
Oh,
leaves me,
you know.
so leaves me with that. So I go 0 point. And then, right, I type that in. I click on second, make sure second is clicked. And by clicked, I mean it has to be gray. Because that's the only way you're gonna find the tan to the -1 power. You see it? Tan to the -1, click on that. What does it give you? Anyone? What did it give you?
Is this 770 187? Oh,
Did you do the second degree? And then you press tan -1?
wait, it's CON, right? -1, right?
What was it?
Tan,
Wait.
T-A-N.
Okay, hold up.
Just tan.
Oh, it was 11.85.
Good. Really good. Oh.
Miss, I am puzzled by your Bundy from your Snapchat.
It's from the Bitmoji app. I'm just gonna say that, but hold on. So
Well,
that gives
it's
me.
from Snapchat, Miss.
I'm. Wherever I got it, I'm not gonna. But anyways, 9 degrees, and that is a degree. Okay. So if you
Okay.
need help, there's always office hours. I know that was a super quick lesson, but you guys already know you can come to office hours. Make sure you do your do now and exit ticket if you haven't. You guys, for the most part, I think I'm still waiting on just you guys the CFA 3A. But that's on the list of your things. Oh, and this one says sync structure. It's actually called interpreting functions. It's not called sync structure, but you guys did that one already. And then just, that one should be up right after class is over at 11 o'clock. It should be, it should start taking in submissions if you guys want to get that out the way. So